Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. This week I'd like to share with you my 1 month power packing that I did right before I moved. I purchased land on March 9th and moved in 1 month later on April 9th. During that month I did a lot of stuff, basically shut the world out and was busy the entire month. And this video is all about what I crushed and crammed into that month. There's a lot to it, so let's get to it. All right, first things first. Like last time, I had 6 months to move, but I planned it all in 3 months. 3 months is a lot more than 1 month, so I actually decided to move in 1 month this time and crammed everything into that 1 month. Packing, planning, setting things up. I started by sporadically packing everything that I didn't use. Now this included things like my pictures and decorations on the walls, dishes that I wasn't using, bathroom stuff that I wasn't using, basically decor and all of those types of things. I even started saving up boxes from my packages that were delivered here so that I could use those boxes for packing. I also started doing the bungees and the Velcro straps, pre-putting those to all of the cabinets and everything that needed to be secured by the end of the move. Most of these Velcro straps and bungees just hung down until the day that I had to move, and then I took my list and just fastened and secured everything the day of the move. Like last time, I also continued to work. Basically put a lot of it on the back burner just because I had a lot of planning to do, but I was able to work in between. I filled a bunch of my envelopes like I did before, just in case people were ordering and I didn't have time to stop and fill those envelopes. I filled product when needed. I promoted when needed. So I still continued to work, but basically put that on the back burner for most of the month. Now we are starting on the planning part of it. I took a notebook and pen and decided to write down everything that I was going to need to do. I'm a huge list person. This helps me stay focused on the tasks at hand. One of the first things I did was wrote a schedule of what was going to be happening on each of the days that I needed to go out to my new land and what needed to be done the day that I went out there. I had to set up contractors. This is a long drawn out process. There is not a lot of people in West Tennessee where my land is. There's only about 245 people living there. Contractors are actually hard to find and you have to go cities beyond what you live. Half an hour away, 45 minutes away is where I had to hunt for certain contractors. The first contractor that I researched was somebody to pour a 30-foot by 12-foot foundation and got that person set up. The next person I had to get set up was the electrician. I needed temporary power as well as permanent power going from the existing electric to my tiny house. So I needed that person to meet me there when I was out there to show him where my tiny house was going to be. I also reached out to a plumber. I've got water on the property, so I'm going to need water pipes dug from the water source to my tiny house, as well as septic. That person is also going to be putting a drain down to the septic so that my wastewater can go into the septic. Pretty much my gray water. When contractors are involved, we had an inspection done on the house and several things came back that needed to be fixed. I had to reach out to a handyman in order for these things to be fixed. Later on, we came up with $5,000 worth of damage on the house where the seller took half of that responsibility and so did I. These things included a front staircase, 5x6 landing on the front of the house with railing and handrails, as well as on the back of the house. And then I also had a shingle replaced. So these are all things that I had to get set up with contractors before moving to the land so that when I got to the land that I was living there legit and legally without any liabilities. Next thing I had to do was research where I should get my driver's license and my license plates and registration updated. I wrote all of this information down, and right before I got to the land, I think it was the day after closing, I actually needed that contract, that signed contract, in order to show the DMV that I live at that location and in Tennessee. I also had to bring a bunch of car titles, birth certificate, social security card, proof of address of where I had lived before that address, and the proof of where my new address was. All of these things needed to get done before I actually did them, so I had to research phone numbers, addresses, wrote them all down, and put them on my schedule for when I went to my land. Now we're talking about utilities. I had to set up the fact that when I got to my land that the utilities could be turned on. Now this included the water and the electric. When I went out there on March 31st, I had those turned on. The reason why I had to wait to get my utilities turned on is because you have to wait until close to do this. During close, you're going to sign that contract, and that shows proof that you live at that land that you bought. Signing stuff had to be done. My realtor and I were working together, and she had to send me several different documents on signing. These included a wire transfer fraud so that I wasn't committing fraud. When I gave the realtor my earnest fee, which is usually 1% of the selling price, and that basically puts a hold on your interest on the property and land that you want. I also showed them proof that I could transfer funds to pay for the sale, as well as giving them a $195 administration fee to their realtor service. Now that I own land, I had to get homeowner's insurance on this new mobile home that is on my land. I might even have my car included in that, but at least it will be one bundle and one lump sum and only one company that I'm paying to, rather than a tiny house company, a home company, and a car company. On March 30th was my closing date. I drove to the middle of Tennessee and closed, and then I drove to get my license updated that same day. Now, mind you, I'm not moving to my land until April 9th, but I wanted to get those things done before I moved to my land. On March 31st, which is the next day, I actually took another trip out there to meet all of the contractors, as well as get the utilities turned on. Again, I wanted to, by the time I got to my land, I wanted my utilities to be on, and the knowledge of what these contractors were going to be doing on my land, I wanted them to see beforehand and possibly get started before I got to my land. I met with the foundation guy, and we decided where to pour the foundation. I spoke with the electrician and the plumber about what they were going to do. On April 1st, my friends and I drove out to the land to drop a load off. We brought a truck, we brought my golf cart, we brought all of my backyard patio stuff and all of the stuff that's outside, so that all of that load can be there by the time that I get there. We also closed off that lean-to that's on the garage because I wanted to make that into a chicken coop. But because it's new land, I want the chickens to be there for about 2 weeks in order to get used to their new home, so that whole space needs to be closed off. So that's what my friends and I did, and we made a little section out back for them to roam around on the grass. Because my tiny house wasn't there, but the utilities were on from the day before, we were able to stay in the house, and I was able to show my friends the land that I just bought. Because my friends and I were traveling there the weekend of April 1st to 3rd, I bought 2 blow-up beds that we could have a place to sleep, because I don't have beds in that mobile home yet. During this whole packing and planning process, I get so excited because I just bought new land and it's got a house on it. I, of course, had to do some shopping on Amazon. I wanted the bathroom inside of the house to be usable. I purchased towels, a shower curtain, accessories, a garbage can, rugs, and things of that nature for the bathroom so we could use it because my tiny house wasn't going to be there. Other things I purchased would be chicken feeders for the chicken coop that we closed off. The realtor service that I was working with, my realtor is from Crye-Leike. They have a home services program where they give their clients this email, and you get to use their vendors in order to get a discount on services, handyman services, appliances, insurance, anything you need. They've got all of it. I would highly recommend going through Crye-Leike if you need a realtor. I will be dropping my realtor's information in the description below because she was amazing at helping me find land. So I am definitely confident that she can help you too. Through this home services program, I purchased a washer and dryer, ended up getting a discount for that. Next, I had to figure out how I was going to transport my chickens, and we decided I was going to transport them inside my tiny house. I had to purchase 2 dog cages, basically 42-inch kennels that 5 of them went in and then 3 of them went in the other one, and we bungeed them inside the house and we moved them from Sparta to West Tennessee. Now, because the land has a mobile home on it and I'm going to be putting this office inside the living room of that mobile home, I purchased 8 new things to hold my herbs. Because I don't have room in this office and there's plenty of room in the house, because I've expanded my business, I kind of am anxious to get all of this stuff out of here now, and then putting it all into the mobile home, it will have a place to go. Another thing I'll be doing within this month move is dyeing my hair. I usually do that at each place that I am at, and then when I leave, I dye my hair right before I go. I'll also be doing the laundry right before I go, just in case the washer and dryer doesn't get there. Just doing certain things to make my life easier there, just getting it done with here. And the cats are coming in the car with me again, so I'm gonna have to do that whole setup. Can do that probably the week that I move, and that will be pretty much easy to leave in the car and then transport the cats from the house to the car the day of. And when I took a trip out there, I also got a PO box from the post office, which also means the day before I leave here, I have to turn my post office keys because I do have a post office box. One of the reasons why I decided to cram all of this in 1 month is because, silly me, I did not get my license and registration updated for 2 years. So I got a ticket and he said you need to change your driver's license ASAP. Now that meant either I could change it in Sparta where I lived, or I could change it when I got to my land. So I decided just move to the land ASAP and just get it changed there. That was my original plan in the first place, but kind of like trying to fly under the radar, but it didn't work out and I got caught. I wanted to get to my land in order to get this all changed so I wasn't still living in Sparta illegally and risking it every time I went to the store or the post office. It was very overwhelming. I stressed myself out a little bit too much, but living in a tiny house, I am surprised now that I've moved 4 times, it is getting easier and easier to pack everything up and plan everything because of my past experiences. I hope this video helped you guys, and I hope my past moving videos helped you guys for your tiny house move. I probably am going to be setting down roots in this spot, so I hope to not move my tiny house ever again, but hopefully my other moving videos can help you guys on your journey too. If you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and click the notifications bell so you can receive a notification every time I post a new video, which is every Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Alright, so there has been a lot happening in the month of, don't put that. So there was a lot that happened in the month, don't put that either. The day of moving, all I had to do was blah. That's usually the 1% of the closing, the sale, don't put that. Now this also included signing a bunch of emails, whether that be proof on, I purchased 8 different little, don't put that, because my tiny, don't put that, because my land has the mobile home on it and I'm going to be putting my office inside that living room in the mobile house. And as everyone knows, I usually dye my hair in this process. As you can, I have not done it yet. A little bit of secret, I'm actually still filming this in Sparta, Tennessee. This is like my 8th video that I filmed within this month before moving. So I'm not quite there yet, but and because I